Hey everybody, and welcome to this live today on disappointments and how to deal with disappointments in a way that's supportive of your growth. It enhances actually, it turns opportunity to around for more self-confidence. All right. Um, I'm Vivian Marr, mind expert, self-compassion expert, life coach. And today I'm going to approach this from a bit of a different perspective that might be really, really interesting for you. All right. When we talk about disappointments, you might feel that or like kind of identify with this feeling that you constantly try to do things and then you're constantly feeling like a failure. And I used to have that for a really, really long time. And let me tell you, it's like awful on mental health, but it's awful for performance and anything to getting to your goals. So the first thing that I want to check when it comes to disappointments is actually in goal setting what we call the R, the reality, the realness of the goals, is that whether the goals and things that we have set for ourselves, are they actually realistic? So what happens is that often we have so many protection mechanisms in us, and one of them being perfectionism, and that one actually makes us expect really, really, really high things constantly from ourselves. And when that happens, we might end up disappointing ourselves and feel disappointed quite often. So this is number one, is whether the expectations are actually realistic. Um, Also, second thing is whether we actually see ourselves in a realistic way. Maybe we have stories that do not actually match up that well. And here, one of the big things is actually self-compassion and being able to look at ourselves in a really realistic and really honest way. Uh, Needs vulnerability, and if you have vulnerability, you need to have a way to be safe. So if you're not feeling safe, you can't really, you can't really look at different sides in yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Not the ugly, but like, you know what I mean. Things that we are bad at, things that we are mediocre, things that we are good. So all people in our society, although all of us, we always want to be great at everything, we actually have things that we are good at, things that we are mediocre, and things that we are bad. And if we're able to start to look at ourselves in that way, there will be a release in energy because all that things that you put towards your perfectionistic thinking and thinking that you must be good at everything will now be released and you will able to actually see yourselves for real for real for the first time. So how does that sound? Does that offer you a bit of relief? Then um, the huge part in disappointments is self-judgment. It links to what I told previously, is that whether judging that we're not good enough and we're good enough, but where does the good enough and not good enough actually come from? For human beings, we don't actually have that thing like good enough and not good enough. Those things are coming from the culture, from the society, and from the messaging. However, we can cut ourselves loose from there. And through that, we can learn to cultivate our own world in which these kind of labels do not actually exist. But in order to do that, you need to accept yourself as a flawed human being as much as other people are flawed out there as well. And if you have never thought like that, that can be quite a mind stretch for you. And there's trainings and tools for those kind of things. But in reality, we need to start looking ourselves in the context of life, humanity, and other human beings who are actually also flawed. Then the ego is safe to come down to the from the pedestal, and you no longer need to kind of attack constantly because you need to constantly compare. Only from the um, if we need to constantly put ourselves to the pedestal, then we need to compare. But if you accept yourself as a unique human being who has flaws as much as other people have flaws, and who has the good sides, the mediocre sides, and really good sides, then you don't really have to start comparing yourself because you understand this is the human condition. Um, with all of this, I would like to offer you a mantra, and the mantra is I am a unique human being, and my journey is unique. So I don't really need to compare my journey to anyone else. I hope that this helps you deal with disappointment um, in a whole new way. If, however, you fall, and that will happen, there are several things that you can do. First of them is self-kindness, and you can really use your body and your language as a way of calming yourself down. For example, you can put a hand on your heart and say, I'm really, really sorry for this, honey. I tried, yeah, I know you tried the best. I'm sorry for this. Um, how can I support you at this moment? When we provide ourselves emotional support, we are much quicker and much better at going out there back again. If we don't provide ourselves emotional support, we're much more prone to not go back there again. So this is what science is actually saying. So those are the things that I would love you to consider, and let me know if you are able to take some of the pearls with you to use, and if some of them gave you the feeling of ease and relaxation and opened up some confidence in you. Thank you.